this edition of RPP News. Local council report cards are in, coffee fans revolt, and we catch up with crazy ideas at college. Hello, I'm Catie Sharp. Welcome to the latest edition of RPP News, bringing you stories from across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. Police are calling for witnesses after two quick-thinking police officers rescued a man following a crash in Main Ridge last week. The Rosebud officers arrived at the Browns Road scene to find a ute on its side at around 11 p.m, leaking fuel. It is believed the vehicle left the road and crashed through a number of trees before coming to rest. The officers tore open the vehicle's smashed windscreen and extracted the man before the fuel could ignite. The 23-year-old from Officer, who police have been told was on a Bucks weekend, was given a preliminary breath test and returned a positive result. He was taken to hospital with serious injuries and is expected to be charged with drink driving, reckless conduct endangering life, careless driving and failing to wear a seatbelt. Anyone who witnessed the crash or who has dashcam footage is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Mornington Peninsula Shire Mayor Anthony Marsh says his council will do better following the Shire's worst ever result in the 2022 Community Satisfaction Survey organised by the Victorian Government. The Shire languished at the bottom of the list with an approval rating of 41. In Frankston, the results were the reverse, with the city taking top honours and an overall community satisfaction rating of 71. Shire Mayor Councillor Anthony Marsh says things have got to improve.
I believe they interviewed about 400 people and the results came back and the scorecard wasn't good. So it's something that council needs to own and we need to look for ways to do better. So how can we communicate some of the good we do, and then obviously the things that we don't do well, how do we pick those up and run with them? It's important to note it's a 2021 survey, so it covers the period 12 months earlier. So a lot of that was we had a lot of lockdowns, we had these huge storms in October, a massive shortage of staff. So there's some of the reasons that may have come through, but they're not excuses. So council needs to do more and ultimately the buck stops with council.
Meanwhile, political analyst Donna Morabito believes preferences will play a critical role in deciding the outcome of the Mornington Peninsula seats in the upcoming state election. Speaking to Tracy Hutchinson on RPPFM's Election Special Series, Ms Morabito says the traditional voting blocks will be shaken by changed demographics, boundary redistributions and the teal vote, threatening Mornington Liberal candidate Chris Cruther.
The preferences could be really integral when we're looking at the margins that we are in all three of Nepean, Mornington, Hastings. And so if the Greens and the Labor preferences do go to the Teal candidate, Kate Lardner, that could be really significant. They could be crucial.
Tracy Hutchison will be interviewing candidates for all local electorates over the coming weeks, every Monday at 11 a.m. and only on RPPFM. Frankston locals have been in an uproar since learning popular coffee van Little Ollie's, a local favourite at the bottom of Oliver's Hill, has been told it won't have its trading licence extended beyond the end of this month. Frankston Council says its policy is to rotate the licences and give all local businesses a fair chance. But Little Ollie's fans have turned up in their hundreds this week to support the business, saying the coffee van was a constant for the local community and its medical staff throughout the pandemic. Following the outcry, the council says it will now review its expressions of interest process. The Art Gallery of New South Wales has announced the Mornington Peninsula Regional Gallery will be the exclusive Victorian venue for the 2023 Archibald Prize Tour. The Archibald Prize for Portrait Painting is the country's favourite and most significant art award. Since 1921, it has highlighted figures from all walks of life, from famous faces to local heroes. The exhibition will run at MPRG from September to November next year. And last week we got the chance to catch up with the Patterson River Secondary School students working with Crazy Ideas College and Winslow Infrastructure to invent programs and products that showcase new ways to care for our environment and help more people live healthy, connected and fulfilling lives. From greenhouse microgardens to social microwaves and virtual Victorians, 6 bold ideas are currently on their way to becoming a reality. The young innovators met with industry experts and community leaders this week to share their ideas and receive mentoring to help take them to the next stage.
To care about issues, it's another to step up and want to be part of the solution.
As you listen to the students and as you hear what it is that they're proposing, I'm sitting there, awestruck at their capacity to think and to bring ideas to life.
The best thing about being in a room with young people sharing their ideas is just that itself. The sharing of, pie in the sky thinking, shoot for the moon is just so important. That's how, I guess, good ideas or good businesses or good concepts come to fruition. They all start with an idea.
We want to create these little kits to give to students to grow their own plants.
With fitness combined with high technology, this idea will change the world.
It is clear that Pathway Path will make a great improvement on teenagers' lives, helping them build a future that is right for them.
We've seen that people now struggle socially, and we want to find a way to combat that struggle and help people connect with their peers and community more.
Teens who are often just wandering the streets should be educated on how to be realistic and protect themselves, prepared for anything that may come their way.
As a young person still deciding what job I want to do, I do not want to spend lots of money on a uni course and then halfway through decide that I don't like that job.
I think this program's changing the kids' views of their role in community and in business by opening their eyes completely, because these kids had no clue about how ideas got developed and then went from the idea stage through to production stage. They honestly thought things just happened in business and there was no process involved in it. And some of these kids are completely blown away by the fact that their ideas could actually become reality, and they're super excited about it. So it makes me excited too.
I think that, was really helpful, because it was like they know exactly how to bring it to life, and they sort of shared that with us to help us along.
The kids have enjoyed being involved in something like this, where they've actually been involved with industry leaders, and I think they've seen some of their ideas come through. Something that sometimes in a classroom you're not able to bring that up.
Just really appreciate what they do and how it can affect what our project is for the long run.
Together we will leave behind a better world.
This will be one of the items the future embraces. I can guarantee you we will not live without the fit case.
We hope to help people that struggle socially become their best self. We want to help students find their career, and with their help we can make each student's career choice a bright one.
This program's really helped me understand a lot more about how exciting conversations can be if you don't come with a plan of how they need to go.
I've enjoyed about how real it was, because a lot of school projects we do, you kind of just do something and then forget about it. This is an ongoing thing, and it's something that could actually happen.
I enjoy the kids' energies. They're so positive, they're so compassionate. It's great working with them.
This is almost the midpoint of students taking a seed, a very basic idea, and bringing it to something that none of us could have envisaged 3 months ago.
We know that if young people are going to be leading change and stepping up, they need people supporting them. So having the panel of community partners and Winslow supporting and actually allowing young people to not just go through a 2-day design experience, but also providing feedback about what they love about their ideas and then offering to support them to bring their ideas to life is an amazing impact for young people and the wider community.
It's a really good thing that they're doing it, because in 20 or 30 years we will be the people running the world. So it's important that we get this real life experience before we have to just get flooded with it.
These initiatives should be a part of the curriculum.
1, 2, 3, We will be keeping up with the progress of the social innovators over the coming months. After the break, we have David Robertson with the Bendigo Bank Market Update.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
Established in 1988, Progress Science has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs, specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs, a station sponsor.
Another month and another RBA rate hike. But pleasingly, the pace of the hikes has slowed, making a soft landing scenario here more likely. Our latest thoughts on the economic and market outlook for October. The 25 basis point increase in the official cash rate to 2.6% was in line with our forecast of successive 0.25% hikes in October and November to 2.85%. As per our Business Insights website. And the RBA are understandably taking note of the cooling property market, the slight uptick in unemployment, and the likelihood of recessions in North Atlantic economies next year. By easing back the pace of rate hikes, the Reserve Bank are keeping on track their dual aim of managing inflation while also trying to keep the economy on an even keel. It's been the sharpest pace of rate hikes on record, up 2.5% in 6 months. And from here, 3 more 0.25% increases are still likely in November, February and around May 2023. The ability of our economy to adjust to this sharp increase in cash rates and bond yields is going to be a searching test, and asset valuations will continue to be stressed by this reality check of more normal interest rates. It's not the absolute level of the cash rate that's the issue, but the speed at which we've moved from record lows to a neutral rate. However, there are some signs that the supply side of the equation is starting to improve, including lower oil prices, just in time for the end of the fuel excise relief, and a fall in shipping costs and delays. But the imbalance between constrained supply and still strong household demand remains the challenge. Until the RBA see core inflation back down below 3%, we can expect their tightening bias to remain in place, probably for all of 2023 and for a period beyond. As this slows the economy down, it's likely to see the unemployment rate back above 4%. But there are some positives to keep in mind. The rebound in international tourism is supporting hospitality and regions hit hardest during the pandemic. The lower Aussie dollar is encouraging domestic tourism and is also helping exporting businesses. And as we saw in last week's federal budget update, the rebound in our economy has helped net government debt to GDP to fall even lower than previously forecast at 23%. So our AAA credit rating is intact, and the relative outperformance of our economy is important to keep in mind ahead of the federal budget later this month on October the 25th. Next year, we'll see our economy decelerate further from the current 3.5% growth rate to below 2%. The RBA are actively seeking a slower economy and less discretionary spending. However, the smaller rate hike is a sensible step in walking the fine line between minimising the risks to the economy presented by inflation and achieving sustainable slower growth. Similarly, property prices, having fallen another 1.4% in September, will ease further. But as long as the RBA don't overshoot on interest rates, can settle back to more sustainable levels. And that's the market update from Bendigo Bank.
And now let's take a look at the weather forecast from the Bureau of Meteorology for the week ahead. Sunday the 9th of October sees a partly cloudy day with a 20% chance of rain. We can expect a low of 7 and a high of 15. Monday brings us a mostly sunny day with a low of 6 and a top of 17. Tuesday brings us a hint of summer with a mostly sunny day. Expect a high of 21 and a low of 7. Wednesday sees the sunny weather continue, although we may see showers later in the day. We should reach another high of 21 and a low of 11. Thursday sees a mostly cloudy day with the chance of some rain. We can expect expect a low of 8 and a high of 16. Friday sees the clouds and rain continue with a top of 15 and a low of 7. And finally, Saturday sees more rain with a high of 16 and a low of 7. Now to our surf guru, Muzz, with the Surf Report.
Hey guys, it's Muzz back with the Mornington Peninsula Surf Report after a couple of weeks break. So hopefully you got in the water. There was a bit of surf in those past few weeks over school holidays. Now school's back and we're well entrenched into springtime, October. Today, Friday, there's sort of the wind's okay in the first half of the day, so there'll be beach breaks today. The swell's bottoming out though, so it's a very small swell that's left over. But come Saturday morning, the wind will be west in the morning, heading more south-southwest as the day progresses, but the swell will come up quite rapidly by the looks of it with that front. By the only issue is the tides low tides in the afternoon when the swell pushes in for waves in Western Port, but we might still get lucky. There might be waves in there early. That will be the same Sunday. I think tides middle of the day. But the only problem is Sunday the wind goes around to that south-southwest and it's going to remain that way for a couple of days. The swell will drop out, but come Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, looks like we're going to get bit of a high coming in and northeast winds in the morning with sea breezes, classic spring conditions, and there should be waves on the beaches in that sort of 3 to 5 foot range by the looks of the long range, so that looks reasonably positive for a few days in the surf next week. So pick of the days will be Friday first half of the day, Saturday afternoon if the tide doesn't beat the swell, or vice versa, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week it should be back on the beaches in that sort of nice 3 to 5 foot range. So enjoy, hope you had a good school holidays if you're there, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
And that's all from our team here at RPP News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Keep watching and do tell your friends. Bring you the news from coast to coast across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition.